I am going to start this story off with some context about me and my new home. So I moved out of my parents' house in December 2019 into my own place. My father came with me to help me move, and he also gave me a painting that he had done about 10 years prior. He said that he wanted me to have it because he knew I liked it. It was an oil painting of a woman in a Victorian nightgown sitting in a chair reading a book. And although it was a beautiful painting, the lady in it scared me. She didn't have a face. There was no detail in her features except for her eyes. They were dark pools that seemed to be bottomless, and they seemed to stare right through me. I immediately hung it in my bedroom, facing away from me. Fast forward 2 months to February 2020, when my partner and I were hanging out in the kitchen eating snacks while watching TV. I turned to him and said, "You know, if we ever get bored of this painting, we could always flip it around, so she's facing the other way." He looked at me, confused. "What are you talking about? I thought you hated that painting." And then it hit me. We hadn't actually spoken about the painting before. I don't even think I mentioned it to anyone in my family after my dad gave it to me. I mean, I noticed it every day, but I never really looked at it. I just thought, well, there it is. Well, that day we decided to flip the painting so that the woman was now facing away from us, and I went on with my life. That was until one night I woke up to use the bathroom and I saw it. The painting was now facing towards me and the woman was now staring directly at me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I got back into bed and went back to sleep. In the morning I told my partner about it, and he thought it was hilarious. Apparently our cat likes to climb on top of the fridge and push things off of it. And somehow this time he managed to knock the painting off of the wall and flip it back around. My partner and I laughed about it and went on with our days. A few weeks later I was getting ready to go out, and my partner stopped by the kitchen to grab a drink. As he walked past the painting, he said, "Wow, I haven't seen you look so haggard. You look terrible." And I thought, "Thanks, dude." Then I just realized he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to the painting. Suddenly I felt a chill down my spine, because as I stood behind him looking at the painting, I realized that it wasn't my partner reflected in the woman's eyes. It was me. I was looking at myself reflected in her eyes like a mirror. When I turned around to look at my partner, I saw that his jaw had dropped and his eyes were wide with terror. He stammered, I didn't realize you were standing there. I just thought you looked like her." His face was pale, and he was shaking. "She looks exactly like you," he whispered. It was then that I noticed something else. The woman in the painting was no longer wearing a nightgown. Now she was wearing a white shirt and black pants, the exact same clothes that I had worn the day before. It was then that I remembered my dad's words from all those months ago, when he gave me the painting. He said that he hoped that I would like it, but he also warned me that if I ever showed it to my partner, he would leave me. And at the time, I just brushed it off, thinking how dramatic of my dad to say something like that. But now I wasn't so sure. After that day, I became convinced that the painting was cursed or something. My partner refused to stay in the house alone with me while I was there. I tried explaining to him that it was probably just my imagination playing tricks on me, but he didn't want to hear it. One day, he simply picked up the painting, threw it over his shoulder, and left. I heard the front door slam shut, and I ran to the window to see him drive away. And in that moment, I felt the presence of the woman from the painting with me, laughing maniacally in my ear. Of course, I missed my partner terribly, and I wanted him back. So I did the logical thing. I took the painting to a priest to see if he could bless it for me. But when the priest laid eyes on the painting, he began to shake violently. He fell to his knees and cried out, "The devil." Before I could ask him any questions, he had a look of pure terror on his face. He started speaking in Latin and made the sign of the cross multiple times. Eventually, he stopped and looked at me with fear still etched into his face. "Get rid of that painting," he whispered. "It belongs to Satan himself." He explained that the painting was a portal to hell, and that the woman in it was a demon who preyed on unsuspecting humans. I didn't believe him, of course, but I was desperate when I asked him to perform an exorcism on the painting anyway. He agreed, and after many hours of chanting and burning holy water, he declared that it was done. The painting was no longer a gateway to hell, and the demon inside of it was gone. Overjoyed, I raced home, eager to show my partner the painting and beg for him to come back to me. But upon reaching my home, I felt dread fill me once again. The woman in the painting was once again wearing her nightgown, and she was facing away from me, staring out the window. And then she turned her head slowly to look directly at me. Her eyes burned a hole into my soul, and I could feel my sanity slipping away. I screamed and fell to my knees. The priest had failed. The demon was still inside the painting, and it was growing stronger. That's when I realized that this story isn't just my story. This is your story too. Every time someone looks into the eyes of the woman in the painting, she takes their soul and adds it to hers. And now I am here to warn you. Do not look into her eyes. Do not make eye contact with her. Never. Or you may end up like me, trapped forever in her painting, lost in the abyss of her bottomless eyes. And now that you've made it to the end of this story, I have a question for you. Did you look into the woman's eyes? Come on, be honest. Don't lie to yourself. If you didn't look into her eyes, then comment down below with the word escaped to prove it. If you did look into her eyes, I can tell because you won't be able to resist. Comment down below with the word trapped. See who will comment which one. And remember, do not look into her eyes. Not make eye contact with her. Never. Or you may end up like me, trapped forever in her painting, lost in the abyss of her bottomless eyes.